What is up, For Honor family? So in this one, I'm taking a different approach. I wanted to actually provide some gameplay, but don't turn off the video just because I said the word gameplay. But I wanted to provide some gameplay where you can see what I'm doing and you could let me know what I'm doing wrong or what you would do in that situation. And the reason why this is not disguised as a help me get good video. It's not meant to serve that purpose at all. It's really meant to just put out this gameplay, get you guys' opinion, because I always like to hear what your thoughts are about the game in certain situations. And I decided to use Warden because Warden is a hero that we all use, even though I don't use him as much. But we all used him at some point and we're very familiar with him, at least most of us are. So we can all give feedback on this particular hero in these particular situations. Now there's only about 3 situations and there's just another one that I'm just talking about what another player did and trusting your teammate. But hopefully you guys stick around and have some fun with this with me. Okay, so here we go. Now we know in random matchmaking, not everything will be precise. As a casual player, I don't expect precision and don't expect precision from me. I'm telling you that right now. But you can still support your teammates. Now I thought the Shinobi did really well here, catching that Aphira and then clearing the minions so they don't interrupt my execution. That was primo. I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh, thank you, Shinobi. And all in all, good teammate play, because I was able to then help out one of my teammates because he was going to heal and the conch tried to cut him off. So fortunately, I was able to assist my teammate. But I'm curious about what happened next. And I want to know, what do you guys do in this last situation? Now pay attention to the Shigoki in the team fight. Do you throw the heavy? Are you expecting your teammate to confirm the heavy? Or do you feign it to GB if you're in range? Now you have to think about it in this particular situation. Oh, he parried the Shigoki and then I ended up getting hit. Now for my take here, I wasn't thinking about confirming for multiple reasons. You know, my health was low, there was a Highlander that started to attack him, so I was focused on my matchup, which caused both of us to get parried, and the Orochi was able to finish me off. Now let's be fair, I probably would have lost this battle anyway, but when you do go out, you at least want it to be because of your legit mistakes versus a lack of telepathy or whatever between you and your teammate. But that was my thought process with this one. That ultimately got me killed. Now this is the same match and it was an even longer team fight. I actually felt bad here because whenever I use Warden, I'm always spamming his zone because unfortunately it's one of, if not his best tool in these occasions. And I think in this situation, where given everything that was going on, there were pretty good choices that were made, but of course I want you to be the judge. Now in this match, these players were very good, especially with switching off of you and then dodge attacking your teammate or throwing an attack in your direction where you can't parry or anything. And I don't think I could use Warden's top crushing counter for a side attack. And of course he doesn't have side crushing counters. So it was tough for me as a Warden to figure out a way to counter that. Now what would you have done in this situation if you were Warden? I hate having to do that with him. I really do with Warden. I knew he was gonna do that. Oh, I thought Shigoki was gonna interrupt, but he had somebody there, so. Now I did what I did because if you remember last time, the Shigoki attacked. So I was thinking he would attack again, but he did not. And I understand it because of the Aphira that came flying in, but while we were in the midst of everything, the Aphira wasn't close enough to the action that I thought she would influence the Shigoki attacking, so I tried to roll away before getting back in a defensive stance, and I end up eating that attack for it. So that was my logic behind what I was doing in that moment. Now continuing on, in this same match, all of this is from the same match, there's a Glad and I that are trying to take back our zone. The conch was being as crafty as he could before we were finally able to take him out, but he stalled long enough where his teammate came, so that's really job done on the conch's part. So now I'm thinking still, we got this. But this is a situation where I really had no clue what the Glad was going to do, and I want to know what you would do here if you were Warden, not knowing what Glad was going to do or Glad not knowing what Warden was going to do. Oh, now I'm dead. Not on the same page. Now, I was thinking we were both kind of sitting there waiting for the tags to drop off in that moment, and I thought he was going to let me see if I could take out the Highlander, so I started trying to figure out my attack, and this was probably one of those times I should have just used the I got this in the chat, but I always forget about that, and most times people don't even listen. I try to, but most times people don't, especially with what I want to show y'all on this next one. Now, this one is definitely a little more annoying because you should trust a teammate that says, I got this. And I did. He took off to the opponent's C point for a 1v1, even though I think a group up at B was our best chance at this point. We were already behind. We battled and actually survived the first break-in encounter when we were at B.
Your team is breaking.
That's good. Ah. Get out of here. Might leave? Oh, he left. So he said, I got this, and then left. That's crazy. But since he lost that 1v1, he left. I do not understand why. It's such a waste of time. But the funny thing is, it ends up screwing us because when I go to revive a teammate, I get hit with enough fear feet, and then the bot comes in and finishes the revive at half health when I would have been able to give him full health. So little things like this matter. The thing is, if you say that you got it and you don't end up getting it, just be like, my bad, dog. Take the L and keep it moving. Because next time, maybe you will come out on top, and it's okay. We know how that goes, the ebbs and flows of this game. So those were just a few of my situations in one match with Warden. I never claimed to be a great Warden, so y'all can stay away from that point of view. And one thing these situations highlight is that there is quite a bit going on in a small space of time that dictate whether you win or lose a match. That's what I really want you guys to focus on. The more you can win those little things, the better chance you give yourself at winning. And it also further highlights in the game that you don't have to play competitive to have competitive and fun matches. Competitive just ramps it up levels, of course, but this can still be fun. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing too much sometimes, like I've done, feeding revenge unnecessarily, or doing too little, or just doing enough. The point is, at least you're doing it playing for honor, and I'm so glad that you guys do. But that's all I have for this one. I didn't want to just do a standard gameplay video, so I hope you take part in the interactive nature of this one. Thank you all for watching. Till next time, y'all. Peace. 3,000? I think that's the highest rep I've ever seen in the game. Holy crap. That was fun though. You know, I'm a casual player. You guys know I'm a casual player. If you are playing with your team and you see, okay, here's a situation like at the end, we're breaking, you're dead, and it's gonna be over, right? So if you know it's like a 2v2 situation like that, please interrupt. Like, you see me throw out an attack that maybe I can't follow up on, or etc. You know the situation. And so obviously with me attacking that person, they were distracted. They're like, okay, now I got to worry about that Warden. So for that split second, you got probably about 800 milliseconds where they're going to be focused on me. So something you should do is worry about that other person that I was just attacking, because I was just trying to help you by attacking your teammate. We all have tags. Nobody's getting revenge in that situation because of the tag. There should be no tag deficit because it was like a 2v2 in that I think it was a 2v2. So go ahead and attack that conch. So that way he couldn't do that dodge attack. And credit to conch, I mean, using a tool that he was given. And that's exactly why they gave it to him. It's of course you can use it as a chase, but you can also use it in that way. So that was a fun match. We were not going to win, as you could see if you watched the whole thing or watch some of it. You watch the pieces I put together. We weren't going to win, but still it's still nice to play out, and you can see some of the situations where I could have done better and some situations where they actually did better. And can you believe that person rep 3,000 something? Holy cow. That's a long time playing this game. Woo! And maybe some of that is kind of cross progression. Maybe you played a lot. Even so, you still got to put in the time to get all those reps. So that's somebody that's been here since the beginning and loves this game. So Disco Poppy, if you ever see this video, and you probably won't, but if you do, salute to you. That is some incredible time put into this game, and I'm sure that's a lot of money invested. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time, peace.